Welcome to Forbidden Planet TV. Hey, and welcome to my special guest, an old friend of Forbidden Planet, Matthew Rosenberg. Here he is again. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's always great to have you back talking about comics, and it's a real treat this time. And I know you feel the full depth of this real treat because we are talking about your creator-owned book, What's the Furthest Place From Here?
Yes.
Coming out from Image Comics and available for pre-order from the links attached to this conversation right here with Matt. So, mate, we've had a whole bunch of conversations off camera about this book. What can you tell the Forbidden Planet TV faithful about What's the Furthest Place From Here?
Sure, yeah. So this is a new creator-owned book I'm doing with my good friend Tyler Boss, who we made a book called Four Kids Walk Into a Bank together a few years ago that a lot of people seem to really like. Tyler has gone on, he did an amazing book at Dark Horse called Dead Dogs Bite, and he did an issue of Department of Truth at Image. And he's just a really good friend, and I think he's one of the best artists working today. And somehow I tricked him into doing another book with me. So this is basically in Four Kids Walk Into a Bank, it was sort of a love letter to all these kinds of stories we love, all these genres, all these tropes and ideas. This is all the other stuff we love that we didn't get to do, that didn't fit, where it's the other side of the coin. So this is we call it a post-apocalyptic coming-of-age story, but it's a big science fiction world with a fantasy quest, and it's got some horror elements into it, and it's sort of a mystery that drives the whole thing. But basically, the short version of it is the world has ended, and all that's left are gangs of children who live in the ruins. And our story follows a gang of children who live in a record store, and one of their members goes missing, and they have to decide if they're going to go try and find her and wander out into the wastelands of the world, or if they're going to stick with the safe choice and let her disappear, and they're just going to stay in their safe home. So it's got all these different things we love mashed together, but we're trying to make sure that it still feels like a book that only we would do. So it's got a lot of comedy, our style comedy, and a lot of heart, and it's very character driven. But yeah, we're really excited about it.
I mean, mate, I just can't wait. What was the you've been working on this a long time. When did you originally get the inspiration? When did you first start writing the book?
So basically, while Four Kids was going, our publisher Black Mask, who we love, were like, the book is doing really well. Do you want to keep it going? Like, they were like, we'd love for you to keep it going. And we just didn't have, we had an ending. And I was like, the point of a story is to get to the end. Like, the end is the point. If we now subvert that, like, we're undoing all the goodwill we have, and no, we want to do something else. And we went and tried to figure out some other stuff. And so while we were working on Four Kids, we worked on some other stuff, and then none of it really came together right. We had this other book that we started, and I said, this is just Four Kids Walking to a Bank with sci-fi stuff. And Tyler was like, no, it's not. And I was like, think about that for a day. And he came back and he was like, you're right, it is. And so we went back to the drawing board, and that took us a while, but like, we were working on it the whole time. And, at that point, Image came along and reached out to us and said, is there stuff you'd want to do? And Image is one of my favorite publishers, and we have a close relationship with Black Mask, and we love them very much. And so we told them, like, we're thinking about doing this at Image. Can we have your blessing? And they, of course, gave it to us because they're incredibly supportive of us. And so yeah, I mean, it's been in some form or another. We've been tinkering with it since issue 3 of Four Kids Walking to a Bank came out, but when it started to really take shape was maybe 2018. We really kind of figured out what it was exactly. But we're doing it we started doing it in a very different way, where we were just like, let's make something with characters in a world and play with them for a while and see where it goes without a story. So there are a lot of pages we didn't end up using, and there's a lot of ideas that aren't in the book that we were really exploring. it's a very different way of working for us, and actually for most comics. Comics is usually very tightly regimented, and we sort of wanted to freestyle for a while. So that's why it's had such a long germination period, really.
And was the ability to freestyle, was that part of the relationship of working with Image? Did that allow you to be able to do it that way?
Yeah. I mean, completely. They're Eric and everyone, Jeff and everyone at Image has been so supportive of us. And basically, we hit a point where we had done about 3 issues of the book, and they were like, okay, so you ready to announce? And are you ready to solicit it? And I sort of went back and I was like, rather than have 3 normal sized issues, I think we want to make one really big first issue. So the first issue is 64 pages. And we basically went back to square one, and we're like, no, we only have 1 issue done. And they were like, did you throw out 2 issues? And we're like, no, we made it 1 issue. And I was really nervous to tell them, like, no, the first issue is 64 pages and we want to sell it at normal comics price. And they were like, cool, let us know when you're ready, and stuff like that. Like, just so supportive of trying to make sure that we got the book we wanted out into the world, which, is really a really rare thing in any artistic field, to have people, once money's involved, people want the product out at a certain point.
Of course they do. Yeah. And of course, we're a comic book store, so we're on the other side of that equation. So I know exactly what it's like. People start getting very hungry once they know that something is coming.
Yeah, for us also, when COVID hit, we were going to launch right around then, and we really took the time. I said, hey, let's pause. Let's see how things go with comic shops. Let's see what we can do to help them, and let's try and make a package that is more than just a comic, more than just something else for themselves. So we went back to the drawing board and made sure that all the issues are oversized, and people get more bang for their buck with that. But also we added this element of records that there's a deluxe version that has records with all these bands that we love, and we have those exclusively in comic shops just to get people into comic shops. Like, we really spent a lot of time and work and money and all this stuff trying to make something that felt special for a comic store. So yeah, I mean, and we couldn't have done that without Image backing us and supporting us.
They're a great team over there, and those editions that you're talking about, again, those can be pre-ordered from the links attached here, as can I know one of the conversations that you and I and Tyler and Forbidden Planet's legendary comic buyer Rob Pontefract were having just today was about the unique Forbidden Planet cover, which are also going to be able to order from the links attached to this conversation. So thank you guys for all of that creativity. And do you have a sense, you and Tyler, when you look back on how did you guys first connect, and how did you both come to realize that you had these shared creative passions?
Yeah. Me and Tyler worked together in a comic book store. We worked together in Forbidden Planet in New York.
Hey, there we go.
Separate, but
separate but similar. Same logo.
Similar, yeah. Cousin store.
Yeah.
And we both worked there, and since we were both weird dirtbags, we were the guys who worked late at night. The store's open till midnight, and they were always like, you guys will close the store. Like, go listen to your music loud, drink, Tyler's drinking coffee, I'm drinking chocolate milk at 11 at night. We're listening to music way too loud in the store and just like trying to sell people on the weird books that we love. And a lot of that was just me and Tyler like walking the aisles, and I was trying to make comics and he was in art school, and I would come to him with ideas and just be like, what do you think about this as a story? And he would just, I just bounced off him. He was a go-to guy. And there was once when I was talking to him and I said, what about a book about children who rob banks? And he was like, how old are they? And I was like, 15. And he was like, no, that sucks. And I was like, 8. And he was like, that's stupid. And I was like, they're 12. And he was like, that's cool. That's interesting to me. He's like, I think that's funny. 12 is the sweet spot. Do that. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna think about that. And then the next day he came in and he was like, hey, I spent all night thinking about that idea of 12-year-old kids robbing a bank. And he was like, I did some sketches. And he handed me sketches. And I was like, this is awesome. And like basically at the same time, we were like, we should do this book together. and that was it. And now he's my little creative partner, and I'm his creative partner for as long as we can go without killing each other, which is, you know, putting out a book is very stressful.
Of course,
It
mate.
could be any day. I'm going to see him next week to sign some stuff and work on some books, and you know, I may not make it out alive.
Well, yeah, or they could find Tyler's corpse with a chocolate milk next to it,
Oh,
which I
for
feel
sure.
would be the giveaway.
Yeah, yeah. If I end up doing him, and they'll know right away. But honestly, it's much more likely that he'll kill me, because I'll be like, we should add another page here, and he'll just turn around and stab me with his pen, and that'll be it. I kind of have no complaints about Tyler. I think he's amazing, but he, I'm sure, is like, Matt's the worst. When you get him on here, he'll be like, I hate him so much.
We'll find out. Well, hopefully the next time we're talking about this book, it will be both of you guys together. So
yeah, for sure.
I'll be able to witness that late night Forbidden Planet chemistry in action, mate.
Yeah.
And on that note, we've been talking about this immense first issue of What's the Furthest Place From Here, with its unique Forbidden Planet cover, which you can order from Forbidden Planet, from the links attached to this conversation. Lots of other goodies as well. And we're all really looking forward to this book, brother. I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to chat with you again when we're a couple of issues in, and we can get more into the fabric of the book. Thanks as always for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone for checking us out.
See you soon, pal. Take care.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV, and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.